What is it like to be afraid?
Can you let me out? Rachel? Kids, I'm sorry. They want you understand? They want you as a host. Get away.
I am in control.
Yep, I'm going to need some liquid courage for this one. And when you need that liquid courage, it's no substitute other than narwhal, I say. Anyway, good evening, guys. Hope you all had a good work week. Welcome to the Game Reserve. My name is Jacob Newman, and I'm Warden in these parts. 1 second. My laptop is on the fritz, so I'm having to monitor the stream via my phone tonight. And it seems to be acting up too, which is frustrating. Well, I really hope this is working. I'm sure if Steffi's watching, she'll be sure to let me know. So anyway, tonight we're playing System Shock. System Shock 2. This game was released in, I want to say 1998, I think. And it was created by Irrational Games. So the first System Shock was somewhat of a watershed moment in the history of the FPS genre. It was groundbreaking for storytelling, world design, gameplay. It was just light years ahead of the Doom clones that were flooding the market at the time. So needless to say, you would think that System Shock would have been a big hit. And it actually was reasonably successful at retail. However, Looking Glass Studios, due to some poor contracts they had at the time, ended up losing money on the project as a whole. Because of that, they decided to shelve System Shock for the time being and go back to the type of game that made them famous, which was the Ultima series, which would eventually turn into the first Thief game. As I got started on Thief, a couple of other employees who have worked on System Shock had grown frustrated of Looking Glass Studios' poor business acumen and decided to branch off on their own and start their own studio, which would be Irrational Games. For their first game, they wanted to produce a game that was similar to System Shock, but because they didn't have the IP, they just kind of shouldered on without it. After getting development started, they took what they had finished to EA Games to talk about publishing deal, and EA Games was so impressed with what Irrational had done up to that point that they not only agreed to publish the game and front money for a better game engine, but they also bought them the System Shock IP. Like, we always think about EA as this big evil corporation today, and rightfully so, but I mean, they had serious faith in this project at the time, didn't they? Anyway, unfortunately, that's where the issues with development started. Irrational decided they want to use the Dark Engine, which is what the Thief game was going to run on. But they weren't aware at the time that the Dark Engine, not the Dark Engine, what's it, the Dark Engine? The Thief engine. They were unaware that it hadn't actually been finished yet, and they found it to be pretty buggy, and because Looking Glass Software was busy with their own game at the time, they weren't exactly keen on helping Irrational figure out the new game engine. So what they ended up doing was come up with a lot of easy-to-program video game mechanics that they could leverage in a lot of creative ways, and then built an entire video game based around that. The result was System Shock 2, which upon its release was one of the biggest critical successes of the year, but unfortunately it wasn't a big retail success, and because of that, EA Games decided not to follow it up, and would sit on the System Shock IP for a good long while, opting not to use it until they decided to make System Shock 3, which would end up being Dead Space. As for my personal experience with System Shock 2, I remember picking this game up when I first started getting into PC gaming in 2011, I think it was. This had just been re-released on PC at the time via GOG. And I remember booting it up and not really liking it. It was very weird compared to anything else I had played, so I put it down. But I would pick it up again and again over the years, and every single time I would get more and more into it. And now I look at System Shock 2 as one of my all-time favorites. I mean, this is just a really cool and complex game. And I do think that it is superior to the first System Shock in a lot of ways. And it's telling how good it is compared to the first game, because when they did the System Shock remake not too long ago, they basically used the basic foundation of gameplay that System Shock 2 introduced. Yeah, System Shock 2, super influential game. So let's go ahead and get this game started. As I'm going to be playing this game, I'm going to be playing it via the version that's on GOG.com. This is just the version of the game I ended up buying. It wasn't available for Mac OS X when I initially tried to play it. So yeah, the GOG version. And there is a remaster of the game due out here soon. Though I'm not sure what point that serves, considering that, what is it? Night Dive Studio pretty much patched this game to perfection, so it performs perfectly on modern hardware. Hey, before we get started, let's see if I can pull up the stream on my phone again. Don't know why my electronics are starting to crap out on me. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Take a little drink before we get started. That's good stuff. Let's do this. I don't know what it is about System Shock. This is just one of the only video game franchises I can think of that scares me. And there's a market quality, and one that you unfortunately don't see anymore. Same goes for Looking Glass Software. Man, just that ominous drone of this menu screen gets to me too. It just seems so creepy, doesn't it? We're gonna go ahead and start a new game. We'll play on normal. I don't plan on playing this to the harder portions of the game, so that should do us just fine.
Look at you, hacker. A pathetic creature of meat and bone, panting and sweating as you run through my corridors. How can you challenge a
Up your Shodan.
machine?
I hate you so much,
In
Shodan.
2072, a rogue artificial intelligence known as Shodan lost her mind. In her limitless imagination, Shodan saw herself as a goddess, destined to inherit the earth. That image was snuffed out by the hacker who created her.
In her limitless imagination. I'm pretty sure that means that Shodan is a sociopath.
February 3rd is the day the magic happens.
Doesn't
The
recognize that
Von
what
Braun,
she's
first
doing
starship
is
in history
wrong.
capable of traveling at faster than light speed, will undertake her maiden voyage. This incredible journey is the result of teamwork between the UNN Protectorate and the incredible scientific minds at the newly relicensed Tri-Optimum Corporation. Imagine being able to travel to distant star systems in a period of weeks. It's all part of Tri-Op's commitment to the future. The Von Braun is packed with over 1.8 billion flight, scientific, and security systems.
Surprised
Nearly all
Tri-Optimum is
developed by
still around
Tri-Optimum
after
and
what
its
happened on
wholly-owned
Citadel
subsidiaries.
Station.
Providing security for the Von Braun as she plows through the heavens will be the UNN Rickenbacker. At her helm will be no less than Captain William Bedford Diego himself, hero of the Battle of Boston Harbor during the Eastern States Police action. This
Even more surprised to hear the name Diego and hero in the same sentence.
that will allow the Rickenbacker to piggyback its way into jump space. Sleek, fast, revolutionary. Who knows what wonders await our crews in the bosom of the cosmos? All we do know is that it's a great day for mankind.
Did he just say bosom of the cosmos? I don't think they would even say that on Star Trek.
This is Dr. Ruby Delacroix of the UNN Vanton. We've been hijacked by an unknown force. Ship security has been compromised. Do not allow the ship... Repeat, do not allow the ship to leave under any circumstances. I don't know what we're up against here.
That can't be good. Before I get started, I can't remember if I hit record. Yeah, I hit record. We're good. Hey, entering the game just like we did in Half-Life.
UNN recruitment facility. Please watch your step when leaving the train. The grav shafts at the end of the hall will take you to the street-level training and recruitment center. Please proceed to the grav shafts.
Why do I get the sense this place is underfunded?
Step into the grav shafts to proceed to the street-level recruitment.
Yeah, they aren't kidding about street level.
Before you choose your career, you'll want to learn some basic abilities. First, you should go into the basic training center. When you're done with basic training, proceed to the advanced training area.
Alright.
To pick up... Welcome, trainee. While you're in our virtual training courses, we provide you with a simulated cyber interface. This training interface is identical to an actual military-grade cyber interface. Now, let's try it out. Move the mouse. See how it changes where you look? That means you're in shoot mode. Hit the tab key. This puts you in use mode, where you can use your mouse to interact with items in the world. Open your primary MFD, or multifunction display, by clicking on the MFD button near the bottom of the screen. This display shows your strengths in various areas. When you're ready to continue, press the tab key to go back to shoot mode. Try changing between modes until you get the hang of it. Follow the red path along the ground to the next training station.
Yeah, so right away we're seeing an obvious improvement over the first System Shock game. The controls basically fall into...
To pick up items, center them on your screen and right-click.
A basic first-person shooter
place
now.
that item into your inventory. To view your inventory, press the tab key. You can move items around your inventory by left-clicking and dragging them around. To drop an item, drag it from your inventory into the 3D view and release the mouse button.
See, this is sort of what I'm talking about. In the original System Shock, in order to pick these things up, you would have to go into your inventory mode, and then you'd have to physically pick these things up and drag them into your inventory. But here, you can just right-click them. I mean, that's good improvement right there. That saves time.
To use items like buttons in computers, center them in your view and click the right mouse button. All usable items will have brackets.
You can interact with the world too. Again, in the previous game, you'd have to go back into inventory mode in order to do that.
If you can, the object before you is a med hypo. Pick it up and then press tab to go into use mode. See the crate in front of you? To search it, center it on your screen and right-click. If you are in use mode, one of the most important tools you have as a soldier is your PDA. Now it's time to learn about jumping and mantling. You've done well. Remember, if you're unclear on any aspect of what you've just learned, you can repeat the training as often as you wish.
So yeah, controls are a lot better in System Shock 2, and that's a good thing. I know a lot of people who claim that the simplified controls in System Shock...
Here's where you enlist in one of the 3 branches of the military. Once you decide on your branch of service, there's no going back. The shuttle will take you to a UNN orbital space station, where you'll receive a briefing regarding your yearly postings. Good luck.
Okay, so yeah, the controls are a lot better. I've heard a lot of people say that the simplified control scheme in System Shock 2 is, irrational, dumbing it down from the first game. But I don't agree with that. System Shock 2 still has the same level of complexity and then some that the original System Shock had. It's just now you get that complexity with intuitive control scheme. this is a good thing, and there's a reason why they kept it for the remake. So don't give me any of that crap. And now we're getting into one of the bigger aspects of the game, and that's the role-playing element. So you got your first batch of choices here, and whatever you choose here, that's going to play a part in determining your starting stats for the game. So you'll get different benefits depending on which branch of the military you side with. I usually go with Marines, since you get some basic weapon training there. That's good beer.
Welcome to Space Station Wake Island, Marine. So you've survived basic training at Camp Lejeune. Better still, you've managed to learn a thing or two about standard weapons. But now it's time for the real deal. Your tour of duty will consist of 4 postings over 4 years. The Corps demands a lot of you grunts, but the Corps is generous. You get to choose your own postings. Head up to the shuttle bays in the center of the Wake Island, and you'll be briefed on what's ahead. When you find the right posting, head into that bay to accept the assignment. Good luck, Marine.
Was it they say in Aliens, every paycheck a fortune, every meal a feast? Talking about presentation, the game actually looks pretty good too. It runs on the same engine as Thief the Dark Project, so it's got some pretty complex level geometry, and the art style is just great. Though, admittedly, the organic character models leave something to be desired. They just look really noodly. It's awkward. Alright, let's head out for our first year of service. So I think this is the one I go to
Not
first.
every boarding party has the luxury of gravity. The Navy maintains a survival training school on the surface of Io, the third moon of Jupiter. Pros, if you're partial to
I
spending
usually like to
time
go
with
to
a lot
this
of
one
high
first
explosives,
because
this posting is for you.
in the early chapters of the game where you're short on resources, it's best to lean on melee combat for a good deal of time, so having some strength to put into your melee weapons at first, it's a good thing to have. Lets you take out enemies in a more rapid manner.
Dummy ammunition, live ammunition, moving target. The automated asteroid ore facility in JM432
And do this
supply
one
the
so you
UNN
can
shipyard.
start out with
So
the grenade launcher when you get into the main game.
the colony air surface the Pleiades trading station has long been the UNN Secretary General's
And I want
office
this
is a full
because your
staff of
weapons
armed
do
guards.
have
When things are done,
condition stats, so you want to have a maintenance stat in order to maintain them. I prefer to use guns in the game. In this game, you actually have several options of how you want to defend yourself. You can focus on melee weapons. There are energy-based weapons, heavy-based, and psionic abilities, which are basically superpowers. And that actually does play into a really big component of System Shock 2. The game really leans into its RPG element, so there are several different builds you can go for. But at the same time, the system is just a little bit faulty. It might be tempting to, just spread out your XP points or cyber modules as they are in the game in order to build an all-around rig. But you'll find very quickly that you aren't able to access the higher level skills that way. And that'll put you in a bad spot as you start to approach the end of the game. There are also beginner's traps that you can fall into. For example, hacking. That is a very useful ability in System Shock 2 as it can allow you to get at certain resources. But there's also no point to maxing it out. There's no point in getting as high a level of hacking as you can. So knowing that once you get to a certain level and needing to stop and put those cyber modules into something else, that's something the game doesn't tell you. If you aren't careful, it's even possible to soft lock your game. So yeah, the RPG elements, they are a good addition and they do add to the replayability. But at the same time, you got to be careful with them, otherwise you're going to have a frustrating time playing System Shock. That's why I didn't like it when I first played System Shock 2. Oh, what we got here? Oh no, I don't want to work under that guy. I would not put in an application for that.
Shuttle A-138, you have clearance for landing on the Von Braun in Shuttle Bay 2. Welcome aboard, soldier.
That drone, dude. And like the grainy nature of this security footage, like that makes you think of the scene in Alien where they approach the space jockey ship for the first time, doesn't it? You just see all this and you just know something bad is going on here.
Reinitializing memory strings. Restoring patient memory. Restoring memory. Restoring memory.
Oh, that's not good.
Steady yourself, soldier. This is Dr. Janice Polito of the computer ops staff of the Von Braun. You're safe for the time being. You're recovering from the effects of surgery and will be unable to remember any of the events of the last few weeks. You're on board the starship Von Braun and something's gone very, very wrong. Some kind of force has hijacked this ship. That's why you volunteered to be implanted with some experimental cybernetic implants.
I would not have volunteered for
Your cyber
that.
interface, it just might save your life. You must find an elevator and come up to Deck 4 to meet me. Deck 4. Can you remember that? But keep your eyes open. They're after us both now.
Do I even have eyes anymore? What kind of cybernetic implants are we talking about?
Watch out. I'm getting strange readings from that radar dish outside the window. It's become unstable due to... Move! Take cover!
Critical decompression hazard in the cryo recovery suite. Evacuating.
The entire sector is depressurizing and the flow vacuum shield won't last long. Get through a secure airlock before you're sucked into space. Move it!
Fair dinkum, lady.
Great. Gotta change the access codes.
I think it's,
Like I've got nothing better to do. I think Grassy just likes to make work for me. I'll set the new code to 45100. That should be easy enough to remember.
Oh boy. Well, this would be interesting.
Warning. Decompression event imminent. Please move immediately to cryo recovery B. Decompression event imminent.
This power cell is dead. There should be a recharger nearby. Just use it and it will recharge all the power-driven devices in your possession. After you've recharged the cell, plug it in. Good. You've managed to get out before the whole area depressurized. I've just uploaded you some cybernetic modules. You can use them to upgrade your cybernetic rig at the upgrade units in this area. There are 4 types of units in the next room. 1 for each subsystem of your cybernetic gear. Stats, psi, weapons, and tech. But use the modules carefully. They're hard to come by.
So yeah, so this is how you upgrade your character's abilities here. So she's talking about cyber modules. Those are basically your XP points. So you'll walk up to one of these terminals and you got a list of stats that you can upgrade. that each costs a certain amount of cyber modules, and like she said, they're very scarce. That's probably the most important asset in the game. So you want to be careful about how you spend them. So let's see here. PSI abilities, I never mess around with that. Weapons, I have standard and heavy. Tech, I definitely want to update maintenance. So that'll do for now. And it's important to note that like people who would play System Shock 2, they're probably people who really got into BioShock, well, at least back in the day, heard that BioShock was the spiritual successor to the BioShock to System Shock 2, and thought there would be a similar game. But whereas BioShock is more of a combat sandbox, System Shock is more of a survival game. It is more of an advanced adventure game, a lot like the first game was, but there is a pretty strong survival horror component too. So resource management is key, so you want to be sure you scavenge the area for resources. So if you want to play the game with psionic abilities, this is an item you always want to have in your inventory. We're going to discard it, but I'll just show you guys what it looks like. So it basically is the means to access your abilities. And I've always found that really weird. It's basically like you're holding the thing out like that. It's so weird. And then you have your wrench, which I guess you're holding it down to your side. I don't know how that's supposed to work. But anyway, I never use the side powers, so I'm going to stick with just the wrench for now. I need to get myself a pistol, that's what I need. Okay, I think that's all the resources in here, so let's actually head out into the world. And just like in System Shock, a lot of the story is told through these audio logs.
I suppose you know they outlawed R-grade cyber.
And again, that just helps with the atmosphere, because a lot of the people you hear speaking in the audio logs, they're dead, and that's just, you know, you're picking up the pieces of a massacre here, just trying to figure out what happened. And it just creates this really unnerving atmosphere. It's fantastic. And those audio logs is something you really want to listen to, because there might be important information in there, such as key card locations, door codes, stuff like that.
Well done. I'm uploading some more modules.
Silence the Discord.
Okay, so our first encounters, the hybrids. Okay, so basically we're encountering some kind of alien growth here. And what really makes these things so terrifying is that it's clear that there's still a consciousness to them.
That insipid computer Xerxes is shut down the
as they approach
well.
you, they start screaming at you to kill them, which
will get the
is just
elevator up and
haunting.
running again. But you can't use the elevator to get down there. Wait. There's some kind of maintenance access right on this hallway. You can use it to reach Deck 1. However, it's locked, and Xerxes is hiding the passcode from me. Dr. Watts should have the code. He's probably in the crew subsection. Grassi has the key to get in there, but he's in the medical subsection, probably near the biopsy lab. Now get to the medical subsection and find Grassi.
Alright, so just like in the first System Shock thing, your mission objectives can be very complex. So our first objective is to get in the elevator and head up to level 4 to meet up with Polito. But the elevator is blocked, so I need to find one person with access, but in order to get to that person with access, I need to find someone else who has access to where that person is. And that just makes for a very busy game experience. But, you know, it is compelling. But yeah, sound does play a big component in System Shock 2, even more so than the first game. So I can hear this robot moving around in here, and the hybrids, who I just realized disappeared, that's creepy, make a lot of noise as they're making their way around. So as you're exploring the game world, occasionally you'll hear the sounds of the hybrids lurking around, talking about their connection to the mini and stuff like that, and you're trying to get a beat on them, figure out where they are so they can maybe bypass them. Then as you're trying to locate them, you move forward, then all of a sudden you hear them start to scream, which is an indication that they've seen you. So you start frantically looking around for them so you can intercept them. You see them sprinting towards you, and then from there you need to figure out what you're going to do. Are you going to fight, or are you going to try to run to save your resources? It very much is a survival horror game, and it's terrifying too. I know you guys might be looking at these graphics and saying, like, how can that possibly be scary? I mean, look at that. But you play the game with headphones and just immerse yourself into it. Yeah, it's absolutely terrifying. It's unnerving. Like, System Shock 2 just gets under your skin. And for someone like me who doesn't get scared playing something like Resident Evil or Silent Hill, yeah, that's just that's just priceless. See, I hear it right now. I also hear the sound of a security camera. Wow! So there's a security camera over there. And yes, no, I said earlier how Irrational would have to develop a bunch of easy-to-program tricks that they would leverage in different ways. Well, the security camera is a good example of that. So there are a lot of ways you could get around that security camera. You, of course, get eyes on it and time the sweep, you know, just go underneath it, avoid it. Or you can go to a security terminal, you can turn it off. Or if you have a pistol, you can go and just shoot it out. So yeah, System Shock does give you a lot of freedom of how you want to tackle your objective. So yeah, pretty good. Okay, there's something in here. Wow! See, that's why I wanted to... That is an outdated character model, but that face is just something that'll haunt your nightmares, dude. God, I love this game. I never play it because I'm terrified of it, but it's just fun to play.
Why is it that no one listens to me? The security protocols on the Xerxes system are clearly immature. Some idiot hacked into the primary data loop last night and made Xerxes sing Elvis Presley songs for 3 hours. I finally had to pull the voice subsystem offline. What would happen if someone with a real agenda got into him?
Isn't that an interesting question? Gee, I really hope that people are thinking about that when they're making artificial intelligence these days. And of course you got these, which are basically respawn points. I always want to get those.
Xerxes shut them all down, but I've discreetly put them back online. You'll need to interface with each machine locally to provide a quantum entanglement sample. Once you do that, the device will be able to rebuild your body essentially from scratch. It's not pleasant, but it's preferable to slow decomposition.
Okay, so now we got a pistol, which means I can take out the cameras now, so I'm gonna head over there to where medical was.
I got called up around 0430 to help unload the shuttle coming back from Tau City. Kerenskin was there alone. Jesus, what the hell happened to him? He'd lost most of his hair, and you could see these lumps on the side of his neck. And that smell. I told him he should go see Dr. Watts, but he told me to mind my own business. Well, la-di-da.
Hear that word? I think it's right. Might seem like a waste of a bullet, but
Damn. The power
it's worth it
outage
to
has
free
also
up
taken out
movement.
access to this bulkhead. It's the only way to get to the medical subsection. Pick up the battery from the floor and find a recharger. The one you used before is in hard vacuum now, I'm afraid, but there should be another one on this deck. Once you get the battery recharged, place it in the auxiliary override.
So yeah, and just like in System Shock 2, the simplest of objectives can be easily complicated. So now I gotta find a way to power this up so I can get through this door. So we gotta go found a power charge station. But still gonna look around for resources.
I've been unable to get in touch with Delacroix. This place is falling apart. Members of my team keep disappearing. The leaks in the venting shafts shorted out the primary access channel, and that means we'll all be on auxiliary power until we can get it back up. That means all the lifts are out. Marie, where the hell are you?
And so if it isn't clear, something very sinister was happening here.
God damn. Somebody's hacked into this thing again. I'm gonna tell Delacroix.
Up here, Xerxes.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
This also plays into the resource management component of the game. You have nanites, which are basically money, and you can trade them at these vendors in order to get resources. It's something else you need to consider because you also need the nanites for hacking, and you can hack the machine in order to get discounts on everything, but I don't think I put in any points to hacking yet, so I can't do that right now. So again, the RPG elements, they do kind of limit the freedom you have, but that also does add to the replayability of the game too, which is a good thing. But I don't think I need anything out of there right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go. Yeah, that's creepy. Oh yeah, and that's a clue to what's going on here. There's a beautiful twist in this game that just makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up every single time. We're probably not going to get to that right now, but I'm pretty sure people who have played this game know exactly what I'm talking about. I would go into more detail, but I really don't want to spoil it. Okay, I'm hearing a camera. And I like how there's another noise that's sort of making it hard to determine that the camera is there. You really gotta pay attention to the sound design here. Stealth is a viable tactic in this game, and you can use the sound system in order to
Xerxes has control of the ship's security system. Avoid or destroy any security cameras you see. You can hack security computers to power down the cameras too, if you're good enough. But don't botch the job, or you'll set off the alarm yourself. Your corpse is useless to me.
So yeah, if you didn't notice, there's a security drone right there. I need to get away from it. Ow! Ugh. I like to think my character just got shot in the bum.
Access needed.
Okay, so I need to find a key card. That's something else I do like about this game. Like notes and logs. It does keep track of your current objectives, which is also a quality of life improvement that they added from the first System Shock game. I'm glad they added that because it was real easy to lose track of what you were doing in the first System Shock. And again, it doesn't really dumb down the game. It just, keeps you on track. That's good for the pacing. I already checked that guy. Go
This
through here.
is Xerxes. Please report any unauthorized database interactions to your direct superior. Remember, a smooth operation is everybody's responsibility.
Yeah, he's creepy, but he's nowhere near as scary as Shodan. Thank God she's not in this game. Wow. Camera. And there's something out there. I can hear him. Okay, it's not that terrifying when the AI glitches out like this, though. There you go.
Kill me!
God, these things are creepy. I still say that the cyborgs in the first System Shock are scary, especially in the remake, but these things are still pretty terrifying.
What happened to me?
Is there...
Ah! A monkey! Stupid monkey! Did that monkey not have the top of its skull? Yeah, that's terrifying. He ate the food to get a little bit of health, but it's no substitute for proper healing items. Scavenge for resources. Keep all those, you never know what we got here.
Ever since we reached Tau Ceti, the lab monkeys have been acting strangely. Nurse Lesser picked one out of a cage to be brought in for vivisection, and the rest of them, I mean the entire group, stood up on their legs and howled. This wasn't just a random display. It was a protest.
Why do we still do that to animals in the future? I mean, advancement of science, I understand, but dear God, don't give them psychic powers for crying out loud. Yeah, that's the thing. You'll see it at some point. I didn't mean to do that, but okay. Something's out there. I don't see him though. Something is here.
The many sings to us. What happened to me?
He's down there. I don't think he knows I'm up here though.
Do not welcome you.
That's fine. I just took a wrong turn. You just do you, pal.
Access needed.
Oh, let's take him out. Ah!
Join us!
Damn. Ah, thank goodness for this thing. It's funny how a lot of people complain about System Shock having, not System Shock, BioShock having a similar system like that. When really, it's the same thing here. They were more frequent in BioShock, we'll give them that. I could have just shot these things and took them out that way. Okay, it says unbreakable, so there's nothing down here for me, so that was a waste of time. But you never know. Sometimes it's worth the risk. I can't go that way, what we have here.
These missions should have been scrubbed before it left Earth. We've been unable to contain the reactant coolant leaks on Deck 1. I've put an order requiring hazard suits down there. I know you think this would cause a panic, but it's better than giving everybody radiation sickness, don't you think?
I would say so. But people don't always think things through. It's like putting an omnipresent AI life form in charge of a military space station and then screwing around with its ethical constraints. Yeah, I'm still harping on that. We really need a law in place to prevent that from happening.
Each deck has a chemical storeroom where you can find the resources you need to research the artifacts you'll find around the ship. Don't try to carry around all the chemicals at once. It's impractical and unnecessary. Your research software will tell you what chemicals it needs, and when.
Scavenge for ammo. Some bullets there. Okay, we got enemies around.
We do not kill me! Triumph!
Well, actually, I'm still alive, so... Man, I'm doing really bad here. It's hard to play this game when I also have to do the stream. It's no wonder the Game Grumps always seem like they suck when they play a game. Alright, tough guy. I like them apples. Doesn't look like there's anything down there. Alright, there's a recharge station. Ah, crap!
Xerxes. Remember, the unauthorized usage of firearms aboard the Von Chrome is a Class 3 infraction.
Yeah, well, I got your infraction right here. Maybe I can take it out with just a basic round if I hit this canister there. Maybe not. Yeah, the shooting in System Shock isn't anything to write home about anyway, either. It's hit scan mostly. And it's not uncommon for the bullets to completely miss their targets too, so... Yeah, if you're looking for a good first-person shooter, this isn't exactly what I would recommend. Shooting in this game's honestly a little sloppy if you ask me. Alright. First mission down. Take it back to medical. Ooh, more armor-piercing bullets. I need those. I hear you, but I don't see you. Nah, this isn't the way I need to go.
You have not disappointed me. Transmitting cybernetic modules.
Yeah, and that's another quality of life improvement that they've added. When you complete an objective, they actually do let you know that you're on the right track, and you're typically rewarded with cyber modules to that effect. Which, again, it's just a good quality of life update.
Good, you've managed to get into Med. Now find Grassi and get the keycard to the cruise sector. He's the one who monitored your cryo-sleep, so he might be interested in joining you, if he hasn't been butchered yet.
Yeah, one can only hope. Yeah, and just like in the first System Shock game, there are points where you can restore your health, but it actually costs nanites to do it, so again, it just comes down to resource management. You really want to keep that in mind when you're playing the game.
You might witness some strange phenomena. Your R-grade cyber rig has an experimental perception enhancement that can theoretically detect residual psychic emanations. These emanations traditionally come from the recently dead. Literature might call them ghosts. I call them self-hypnotic defects in the R-grade unit. Don't let it distract you from the job at hand.
So we got a security camera, and we also got monkeys. The monkeys are more dangerous than you realize. And that's why. Why give the monkeys psychic abilities? What were you people thinking?
This is Xerxes. Why do you persist in your loneliness?
will welcome us. Run.
Yeah, not real satisfying shooting. If you have the right upgrade, you can actually repair that shotgun, but I can't right now, but I am going to take the bullets out of it. I'm going to head back and heal myself, though, on that medical bed. I swear, scientists do the stupidest things in fiction. And then they do the stupidest things in reality, too. Why? What is wrong with people? Think about things. That's all I'm asking. Wait, did that... That body just disappeared. I didn't get to... That was BS. Oh well. Body armor, I'm gonna take that. I don't need the PSI hardware hippo. We're a step up. We have ourselves another one of those turrets. Yeah, those armor-piercing rounds are really precious. It really sucks when you have to throw them away like that. Whoop. Back off, monkey! Stupid monkey. Damn security cameras. Make me waste bullets. Every time a door opens, I always look behind it because I don't know if I opened it or someone else did.
What is a thought compared to a mind?
Our unity is full of wonder.
Full of wonder, which your tiny individualism cannot even conceive.
Please don't talk to me. If only I had hacking right now. Whew. That's what I'm looking for.
Well done. I'm uploading some more modules.
Again, it's just satisfying when you're able to complete an objective and you get rewarded like that.
Patient Watson died at 0240 of non-specific causes. Despite zero respiratory and brain function, the body is still displaying autonomous motor function, as does the parasite. At 0847, the patient even spoke to one of the nurses. Autopsy is set for 1630, and then we'll see what makes this Lazarus tick.
Why did I get the sense it shouldn't be doing that? Back the way we came. Yeah, you can go in there if you want, but you need a radiation suit or a rad hypo. I do have one, but I want to save that. I hear the monkey again.
Where'd everybody go? Is this some kind of joke? Hello?
I wish it was some kind of joke.
Whose idea was it to bring 150 chimpanzees on board anyway? The interest of science? What about the interest of hygiene? Does anybody have any idea how much crap 150 lab monkeys make in a day? The poor chimps. They come on board for the most historic mission of all time, and they end up being chopped into little pieces in the name of progress.
Come out, you little bugger. I do feel bad for these guys, though. It's not like they're one of the parasitic hybrids or whatever. Not going in there. One thing that's interesting to note is System Shock 2 actually does have a soundtrack, but everyone I know plays the game with it turned off because it just ruins the atmosphere. It's more fun to just make your way through the ship with the silence, your own footsteps being the only noise, the ambience of the ship, and then to have it just broken by the sound of a hybrid making noise. It's beautiful. Where are we at on time? 2 minutes. And I need to go this way.
Good. You've made it into the crew sector. Now find Dr. Watt's room.
Once again, playing into that design philosophy of the first System Shock, where the level design is more organic in that it seems like a place where people would actually inhabit.
We have picked up a transmission from the surface of Tau Ceti 5. I've been in negotiation with Captain Diego of the Rickenbacker, and after some coercion, he's agreed to go planetside as a joint venture. Imagine, this historic mission might even become more historic. First contact. And who is there to get exclusive rights to all media, patents, and land grants? Trioptimum. Miri, I told you this would be worth it.
Business types. Oh, crapola.
No metal intrudes here.
Come here, you.
Are we joined?
I don't intend to hide forever, but I am going to run away for now. And we're coming up right on 9 o'clock, so I'm going to call it right here. So, System Shock 2, I think it's fantastic. The story, it's a meaningful progression of the events that happened in System Shock 2. I know it doesn't seem like much is happening within this first hour that I've shown you guys, but System Shock 2 really does come into its own narratively speaking as you get like a quarter of the way through the game, mostly in regards to that stunning twist I told you guys about. The presentation is strong, though the character models are a little dated. The lighting, the ambience, the sound design, the design of the ship, it's all A-class. And the gameplay itself is just so much better. Like, I praise System Shock 2 just for the improvements made to the controls. But the RPG elements add a lot of replay value. And it's just, in general, a really good game. That being said, I wouldn't say that's the timeless masterpiece a lot of people tend to say it is. The shooting isn't very good when you get down to it. The RPG elements, while strong, can also soft plot the game if you aren't careful. It's just a game that's very unfriendly to newcomers, but it is also one that I do recommend everyone give a try. The System Shock remake that came out last year, and it's even more unfriendly to newcomers than System Shock 2 is. And people really got into that one, despite the fact that it didn't really hold your hand. So maybe people would get into System Shock 2 more than I think they would. If you're a fan of the first game, checking this out is a no-brainer. It's dirt cheap on GOG, it's dirt cheap on Steam, and if you must, the remaster is due out soon, so there's no excuse not to play System Shock 2. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight, guys. If you enjoyed tonight's content, please be sure to like and subscribe. I do these videos every week, typically at Saturday at 8 o'clock. Basically what I do is I pick a game out of a hat and I play it for an hour. Talk about the design, talk about the gameplay mechanics, because, you know, I just love talking about that stuff. I do not play games from start to finish because I feel like you miss something if you don't play the games yourself. But no disrespect to anyone who chooses to consume games in that manner. But if there's a game you guys would like me to play for the stream, please leave it in the comments. And, you know, just take care. Alright, now turn off the video. However I do that.